What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are discussing the best booster boxes to buy under $300. There's so many incredible opportunities right now inside of this Pokemon market, and I just want to do a deep dive discussing some of the sets. Before we jump in, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. We are so close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. Seeing that growth motivates me to make more videos. We just did a heavy relaunch on our website. Make sure to use code YouTube5 for 5% off any orders on PokeKingShop.com. Only available for a limited time. With how expensive sealed product is getting and everything skyrocketing, we're not really fire sailing sealed product. And on our website right here, you could get a ton of factory sealed cases and other awesome products at an awesome deal. Apply that at checkout for 5% off. Let's start off with Chaos Rising, and this is going to be a sleeper pick. Considering the fact that we pretty much have an identical price of Chaos and Perfect Order, between the two sides, Chaos Rising is substantially better. And I even noticed with our own sales, like the first 5 to 7 days of release, this stuff was just selling like crazy. We did some massive MSRP drops. We were dropping packs at $4.99 to just get everybody a chance to get packs for cheap and enjoy the new set without having to pay a crazy amount. And just the amount of supply that is being shredded on this set, I think a lot of people don't understand what's really going on. And I am almost getting a Phantasmal Flames 2.0 vibe out of this set, where the same thing happened for us with Phantasmal Flames, where basically in the first week, everybody wanted the product, and then the demand just kind of fizzled out. Now, Phantasmal Flames was kind of in a better position because that set got released in November. We're going to discuss it here in a moment. Phantasmal Flames is now up to $440, but this one got released in November, and then usually during the winter months leading up to December and Christmas time, that is usually when demand for Pokemon falls off because obviously people are busy buying gifts for friends, family, enjoying the holidays and everything like that. So the demand for Pokemon usually cools off a little bit. What happened here, if we look at the 1-year historical chart, was we had an opening of Phantasmal Flames right about 330, and then they dropped to a low of like $210, $220 here, and then they just sat from this period up until it took until 2 more months until February to get any kind of meaningful price movement rebound. And this was the time where you should have been accumulating, because now obviously you could see how much it's grown since then. But, everybody just stopped caring about Phantasmal Flames. And this is precisely where we are right now with Chaos Rising. The people who wanted to open the set in the beginning, Chase the Greninja, they did that. And now everybody is just waiting for Pitch Black. There's been leaks of the new 30th anniversary. Everybody's getting so excited over the new Umbreon leak, the Espeon, all the other awesome products that are coming out. And this one is going to fly under the radar, precisely why I think it is an excellent time to start accumulating. I've been stocking up so many boxes. We opened out at the gate at 275. A lot of them have sold. Then we dropped to like 240. We had a rebound again a little bit like 2 weeks before release, back to 270. This is where a lot of them have been selling. And now we're 230, and this is just kind of like a flat line. I don't realistically see these getting any lower. And even Wave 2, once Wave 2 ships out, it's not going to cause the prices to go down. I mean, if Perfect Order is holding the line at $220, $230, the fact that we are like 240, 250 for a box of this is a steal. Like, I am still selling these on my website because I had an opportunity to acquire more, but I'm personally considering just removing all of my Chaos Rising booster box stock and just setting it back. I think fair value on these is at least $275, $280. There should be a premium just because there are significantly better chase cards. A lot of really good illustration rares. So, when you look at the risk, there's not really that much risk. Worst case scenario, you lose $20 a box, but the upside is substantially higher. It is going to take a little bit of time, but as we get past Pitch Black, that is when I think we will start seeing meaningful movement. So Chaos Rising is definitely a good addition if you want to have a well-balanced portfolio. Phantasmal Flames, not going to really touch base on this video since it is over that $300 price point. The time to have been buying would have been like December, January, February. These are much more expensive. I just wanted to use that as a comparable when discussing Chaos Rising. Let's shift to Mega Evolution. This is actually one of my favorite buys, one of my favorite investments right now. And not even the enhanced version. I'm actually going to discuss the non-enhanced version. Now, the enhanced version is nice because you get the Bulbasaur promo, but you are paying a premium for it. But regardless of the inclusion of the promo or not, I want to focus on the supply. So when Wave 1 and Wave 2 shipped, it was just the enhanced version. These are the unenhanced version. So this is just 36 packs of Mega Evolution, and these are extremely hard to find in factory sealed cases. I think over the long haul, if you are looking to build meaningful long-term positions, Mega Evolution non-enhanced could be performing like crazy just because a lot of people were not able to get a ton of them, which means down the line, there's going to be less competition, less undercutting. That basically means you'll be able to charge a higher price. And if people want to buy it, they're going to have to buy your listing. So if we look at the past 6 months, this one was in that like 240, 250. It was going for just slightly higher than the enhanced, but then it hit a high of 340. It's now pulled back down to like 312, 310. Loose copies are definitely going to be, when I say loose copies, I mean like individual booster boxes are definitely going to be cheaper. But I think the biggest play with these is if you are in a position to buy a factory sealed case, you might have to pay a little bit extra. You will have to pay that case premium. But I think, again, if you're looking to build a good long-term position, having a case will provide just such a huge edge. It's been something that I've been secretly buying up. Everybody is just so focused on the new shiny thing. They're so focused on 30th anniversary, the excitement of the new pitch black cards, and everything else that just the Pokemon company is releasing. We just got news of like Series 3 first partner illustration boxes coming out and all the awesome designs, and everybody's just so excited for what's to come. Whereas I'm taking a different approach. I am going back 6 months. I'm saying, hey, which products are good? And Mega Evolution started off an incredible era. You know, the next set after that was Phantasmal, then Ascended Heroes. It's just straight banger after banger release. Now, sure, we had a little bit of a slowdown with Perfect Order, but it's still going to do just fine. But Mega Evolution, this one to me is just a very well-constructed set. You have the Venusaur, you have the Gardevoir, you have the Lucario, and Lucario is also going to be making an appearance at the end of the year, which is something a lot of people don't realize. We've already had Lucario in sets like Crown Zenith, end of the year specialty set, so it's a popular Pokemon. The fact that it's leading the set, I think this one is going to go really under the radar. This kind of reminds me back in the day, XY Base 2014, same thing. You had Venusaur and Blastoise on the front. Nobody really cared about it. I remember when boxes were like 800, and I don't know what they are today, but it's a couple $1,000s, and just out of nowhere they skyrocketed. And I expect a similar thing to be happening with the Mega Evolution, particularly the non-enhanced ones, because they are just much more scarce. Now, the enhanced one are going to perform just fine as well. Ultimately, buy whatever you could get. But this is just an interesting thing that I'm personally testing. You know, with a business my size, I do have the liquidity to just kind of try out investments, and it's not the end of the world if they don't perform. But I'm basically stocking up as many non-enhanced cases because I want to see if in the long haul that less supply is going to have a meaningful difference on price. And I think for a collector or somebody who wants to get factory sealed cases and just build up a collection of sealed product, like if you want to get Mega Evolution, you have to buy the enhanced and the non-enhanced. So awesome opportunity there. Easily could see those going 350, 400, especially as Phantasmal pushes past 500. Let's switch on over to Surging Sparks. Now, this is probably, in the entire video, one of the most underrated plays right now. I mean, this is a good Pikachu set. Like, we had an attempt to make a good Pikachu set with Vivid Voltage, but back in 2020. But outside of that Rainbow Pikachu, that set really has nothing. But Surging Sparks, it's got everything. You have the Milotic, Latias, you got the Executor, the Pikachu. Again, another just very well-constructed set. Same with Mega Evolution. And the fact that we are still under 300, this is almost giving me Fusion Strike vibes, where Sword and Shield Fusion Strike, it was kind of like a dead set, and it feels like Surging Sparks is a dead product. I've actually had a ton of people start buying cases on my website. So I'm seeing a lot of investors accumulate Surging Sparks, but I don't see anybody else discussing it. So what I think is going to happen is supply over time is going to continue to get depleted. We've already had our final reprints of Surging Sparks. Now, technically, there's still an opportunity where it could be reprinted, but the chance of that happening at this point is like actually 0%, because we have Pitch Black, where the Pokemon Company needs to make sure that there's enough product coming out. Definitely the Pokemon Company needs to focus for 30th anniversary, because that is what's going to cause a real frenzy. Then you got the Rayquaza set and everything else that's just coming out. They're not going to go back to SV08. You know, SV09 is Journey, SV10 is Destin. I mean, they're not even reprinting Destin Rivals anymore. Why are they going to go back to a November 2024 release? It just makes no sense. The fact that these are still under 300 is criminally underrated. These should be like 375. And I think what's going to happen for us to get to that price point is either the Alt Arts, SIRs, Illustration Rares, some of the chase cards inside of this set are going to have to hit record highs, or we're just going to have to continue waiting for product to be opened up. But, you know, we had a reprint of ETBs, which crashed the prices to like $70. Those ETBs are $150 now. And the fact that the ETBs have already doubled, but the Surging Sparks is kind of stagnant. I mean, let's look at the history here. We were at 240, now we're up 280. So it is growth. I mean, past 6 months, up 15%, but nothing as meaningful as other opportunities. And it just tells me that anybody who has a case of these over the long haul, I think if you wait another 12 to 18 months, you are going to see some insanely strong returns, because this is that period where you want to be accumulating, where nothing is really going on with the price. Let's shift on over to Journey Together. Journey Together is another super interesting one, and this is another sleeper product. I've noticed just with our own sale through rate on our website, I see a lot more people and a lot more deeper vested interest in Journey Together, particularly after Perfect Order. So Perfect Order, or prior to Perfect Order, Journey Together was considered like a trash set, but then after Perfect Order got released, I think people are starting to realize that Journey Together is actually not that bad. It's got a lot of really good illustration rares. Love the Whale Lord, love the Articuno. It's got fancy SIR cards as well, like the Clefairy, the Zoroark, and everything else. And the fact that this is our first ever enhanced modern box continues to add to that, I guess, exclusivity and uniqueness of a product line. If you are purchasing a factory sealed case or even a booster box, you get that Ends Reshiram promo. It's just very unique. In the long haul, it is going to age like fine wine. And again, these boxes, like at 300, are still screaming buy. It is a product that is now officially out. They never reprinted Journey Together. Any extra product of Journey Together boxes that came out was once again the non-enhanced version. But personally, between Journey Together and Mega Evolution, I think the non-enhanced is going to do better on Mega Evolution, because I would still say Mega Evolution base is better than Journey Together. But this one specifically, I'm talking about the enhanced one, which comes with the Reshiram promo. Again, cases under $2,000 is a crazy good buy. Could easily see both Journey and Mega cases hitting 3,000 in the next year or so. Obviously, we'll see as time comes on. I don't expect the Pokemon Company to just be putting more out, so this is kind of like a last call. If you want it, get it. If not, skip it. Let's shift on over, though, to another historic set, Scarlet Violet base, SVO1. Me, personally, the base sets, it's an opportunity for a business like mine to just accumulate and get a ton of stock, because nobody else seems to care or have as much, I guess, risk to buy a ton of product. Like when a new era comes out, everybody's skeptical. I remember when Scarlet Violet came out, this was the first time we had gray borders. People were skeptical. This was an opportunity for me to just start spending more with my distributor. And I know when we get wins and waves, something similar is probably going to happen, where people are going to be wary. We might get an increase in MSRP price. I'm not really sure what's going to happen as we lead into 2027. But one thing I know for certain is as time continues to go on, it is going to get harder and harder to accumulate these. I look at the historical performance of Sword and Shield base, which is a far worse set than Scarlet Violet base, and those boxes are like $500, $600, $700 now. So I could easily see a quick double up on Scarlet Violet. And when I say quick double up, I don't mean in the next 10 years. I realistically could see Scarlet Violet base being a $500 box in less than 2 years. And to me, it is just an extremely safe play. You know, when you're thinking about these investments, you don't just want to pick the thing that's going to go up in price the fastest. You also want to pick stuff that is going to preserve your capital. You know, putting $300 in Scarlet Violet base to me is a very safe play, knowing that no more stock's coming out. It started the era. It got released in 2023. Sure, it's still a modern booster box, but again, there's no chance we're getting any more product. And as time goes on, it is going to just get harder and harder to get. Less people are going to have it, and as a result, the price is going to go up. So again, diversifying in Scarlet Violet base, I'm not telling you put all of your money in here, but try to at least have a case or two in your collection. You are not going to regret it. One of my favorite holdings. Shifting on to SVO4, this is another similar play to Scarlet Violet base. While everybody's focusing on the brand new thing that's out, I'm going back in time. And the reason why I'm going back in time is, again, knowing that no more supply could be added. Supply continues to get lower every single day. While everyone else is dumping all of their money in Ascended Heroes, I recognize, being in the industry for so long, that Ascended Heroes still hasn't even received full Wave 2 allocation. So what's the point of putting all of your money into something where the supply is going up? If supply goes up, prices come down. That is not the same case for Paradox Rift, another fantastic set. Some of my favorite single card investments, like the Steelix illustration rare, even the Roaring Moon or the Garchomp, all could be found in this set. Let's not forget about the Groudon illustration rare, another good set. You know, the Iron Valiant, people were kind of 50-50 on it when it got released, but I think now people have come to understand that it is a good set. Again, anything under 300, good buy. Easily, these boxes should be $350. And the last thing I wanted to touch before we wrap this video up is, if we go to the prior set, Obsidian Flames, I mean, these are already $375 plus ship. You're $400. After tax, you're like $450. You know, Obsidian Flames is pushing $500 a box, and people hated the set when it came out. And I'm not saying to pick Obsidian Flames over Paradox. You know, between these two, I'm going to go for the cheaper thing, because Obsidian Flames has already seen tremendous growth. Past 6 months, These were at that $290 price point, $300 price point. That's kind of where Paradox is right now. Now, if you're buying from a trusted source, you are going to have to pay a little bit more, $320, $330 if you're buying a case, whatever. But, this is already up to nearly $400, up 56% in the last year. Whereas Paradox, it had a huge spike to $325, but then it pulled way back down. I'm not sure what happened during this period. It's slowly rebounding. It's still up. All booster boxes, English booster boxes are up, but not to the same extent. And another great comparable is also Paldea Evolve. Paldea is now a $500 box. Past year up 50%, past 6 months still trending up 30%. And what's interesting about this one was this one actually had massive reprints. Distributors were asking businesses like mine to just take Paldea Evolve. Nobody wanted this stuff. These were sitting for $90, $95, $100. Nobody wanted to buy them. They were on secondary marketplaces like 105 free shipping. People were losing money and nobody wanted to take it. So, I go back in time and I see how, I guess, useless of a product this was. Like, this was a garbage product, but now with time, it is now a $500 box. So instead of buying one box of Paldea, I would rather have like 1.5, 2 boxes of Paradox Rift. Add an extra $100, get yourself a second English booster box of Paradox Rift. I think, long term, it is going to perform better because there will have to be a correction. Early Scarlet Violet is going to get more expensive in price. This is precisely the same thing that we've already seen happen in Sword and Shield era, where the weaker sets like Astral Radiance, they finally caught up to, the more premium sets. But yeah, this is all I have for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something. Let me know what you guys think of the picks. Make sure to subscribe, YouTube 5 on our website, PokeKingShop.com, and we will catch you on the next one.